everybody. It's early for us, right? It's so early. Well, hot dog, hot diggity dog. So I made me a little trip up to my hometown today, place I was born and raised, Harlan, Kentucky, deep in the mountains of eastern Kentucky. Up there in Harlan, where a murder took place in 2013. And since then, there's been all kinds of just craziness going on with lots of trash being talked, lots of accusations being made. Um, I've even been, people coming at me on my own community page saying, he didn't plead guilty to murder, Jimbo. He didn't plead guilty to murder. Didn't he? The charge that he pled guilty to was complicity to murder. But wait till you hear what he says to the judge. The judge asks him specifically, did you commit this crime resulting in the death of one Ronnie King? I'll let you hear what Shelby says. How about that? Is that fair enough? Put one in the chat if that's fair enough. I'm going to set up the share screen. I probably need to get on my phone so I can chat with you guys while that's playing. Because when I share screen, I can't really do that. Let's see. There's so some ones. There we go. Now let me turn it down so I don't hear it. Okay. All righty. Let's share this screen here, and we'll just share the whole window. And that way you guys will see everything I do. I'm just going to move this down a little bit because I've actually set these up over here. Let me move this up. We'll start out with Shelby's, little tiny little charges, of kidnapping and threatening bodily harm to guards and stuff like that. We'll start out with that. Minor stuff. Let's don't waste no time. Can y'all see that?
No, there's no middle.
You want on the record?
We're on the record.
We need.
Yes, Judge. One thing we want to talk about on the plea was we have not yet informed the family. We're not asking for their approval, but we have to inform them. I feel because of the crime bill, the crime victims bill, that we need to do that.
They've been very involved. They were at the murder trial every day.
Yeah.
The sisters are very
Mr. King is here, isn't he?
Well, that's just one brother. That's just one. He's not even our victim contact.
If we don't do this now, it's not going to go.
Well, we're not saying we're not going to do it.
Can we make it conditional?
So they're going to call the family. Let me skip forward a little bit. Let's get the star of the show up here.
Get the number of it here.
There he is.
13 CR. Why don't we get started?
Hello, Shelby.
I have the record up here in the
You
case,
innocent
today's
man,
case, and Ms. Adams gone
He didn't do a
downstairs
dad burn
to,
thing. He was set up.
The record that has that part of the record has the indictment in the other case, and so we can do this first. And
Look at that stone cold killer right there.
Mr. Shell, I understand
Still don't shed a
that
tear.
an agreement has been reached, a plea agreement in both this case that we were trying today, 14 CR 134, and the case that we took to trial and we had a hung jury in Bell County last year, which was with the number of it here, 13 CR 76. Do you understand that what we're doing now, the answer is you to change your pleas to guilty in both of these cases uh, pursuant to these agreements that have been worked out today.
He is taller than Ernie.
All right.
He's about 2 or 3 inches taller than
I'll
Ernie.
tell you what I tell everybody who pleads in here, that you don't have to. You can still elect to go to trial. But if you plead in these cases, there'll be no trial. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Also,
The judge is clear as a bell with him. Pay
I have
attention.
to ask you a few questions. So, would you raise your right hand, please? Ms. Shell, do you swear or affirm that any
Hello,
answers you give
Candace.
speak the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can lower your hand now, sir. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol
No,
today?
sir.
Are you taking any medicines that might impair your judgment? No?
No.
Are you entering into these pleas voluntarily?
No, sir.
No?
I mean, I'm doing it on my own.
All right, that's what I meant. Has anyone forced you to?
No, sir.
All right, has anyone offered you anything of value to enter into?
No, sir.
All right. Are you satisfied with advice and counsel?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to go ahead and get
Nope.
started.
He swears he
Counsel,
don't
would
say
you,
nothing about no
I
joke.
have police documents in both cases. Would you identify the documents and have Mr. Shell identify his signature on each one?
Michelle, we're going to start here with today's case, 14 CR 134. If you recall, you saw this before the Commonwealth's offer on a plea of guilty.
Yes, sir.
You recall reviewing that. You discussed that with myself and Mr. Simon, correct?
Right.
And you did sign this here at the bottom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Along with that, we also had here the motion to enter guilty plea.
Yes,
You
sir.
recall discussing that with us, we reviewed that,
I remember signing.
and you signed that there. And then lastly, with this case, stand still on 14 CR 134, this is the actual guilty plea form. Discuss that, and that's your signature, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm looking at 13 CR 76. So this is the motion I read. Guilty plea right there. You sign the second page right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And this is the guilty plea order. You sign the second page right there.
Yes, sir.
And then finally, we get to the plea offer. This is the Thomas offer of plea guilty.
I wonder if not today's got some transcripts for this.
And we did go over these forms.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right. Very good.
That's right, Blue Moon.
All right.
You wanted to step up and say something, you could right now.
If you plead guilty today, you give up certain constitutional
I think you
rights,
got off
including
easy.
the right to remain silent, the right to speedy trial by jury, the right to present evidence on your own behalf at trial, the right to confront and cross-examine the Commonwealth's witnesses against you at trial, the right to hold the Commonwealth to a standard of proof of guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, and should you lose the trial, the right to appeal and the right to a lawyer on appeal. You understand you'll give up those constitutional rights if you plead guilty today.
Yes, sir.
All right. Also, if you get into additional criminal difficulty in the future, these pleas could enhance any sentencing arising out of that. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, it's my understanding that Mr. Shell is willing to waive for a separate sentencing hearing and a delayed PSI and go ahead and be sentenced today. I'm going to accept the Commonwealth's offer on sentencing. Is that correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Shell?
Yes, sir.
We're good to go.
Yes, I was just going to say that he's a state inmate, or he was. He hasn't been out since, so there's a PSI already on that.
All right. So after all that, Mr. Shell, do you still want to plead?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll start with 14 CR 00134. That was today's case. And,
No, I haven't seen Rap's picture. I don't really care what he's got.
And I want to. Did you go over the
I don't pay any
Commonwealth's offer
attention
on
to those
sentencing
idiots.
with counsel?
Yes, sir.
I think it comes to 20 years, basically for both cases. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that correct? That-
Yeah, Candace, he's a convicted murderer.
All right. Beginning with 14 CR 00134.
That's Ernie Shell's little brother.
And the amended charge of attempted unlawful imprisonment, a Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead?
Guilty.
And I'm going to ask you, Mr. Shell, on or about March 8th, 2014, you did in fact restrain one deputy, Mitchell Wade, against his will.
Guilty.
Did you do it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Count 2, attempted unlawful imprisonment, Class A misdemeanor. By the way, both misdemeanors carry up to 12 months in jail and or up to a $500 fine. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I'm going to ask you, Your Honor, about that same date. You restrained for one Josh Lilly against his will.
Guilty, yes, sir.
Did you do it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, count three. Attempt.
I have to pause it and do that. Hang on a second.
The rest of it,
I have to pause it and do that. Just a minute. Let me go to the should be pinned to the top now. Yep. We'll go in StreamYard and throw it up on the screen, I guess. Let's see. We're not really using the screen, but do that. And we'll get back to old Shelby confessing again.
the last two felonies are being amended to attempt, so it'd be criminal attempt of promoting contraband.
I'm trying to read your attempt to what? Oh, okay. Oh, they're all attempted.
Yes.
Okay. All right. As to the charge of attempt to promote contraband, which is what now? Misdemeanor. Class D.
Class A misdemeanor.
Class A misdemeanor. Okay, 12 months in jail and or $500 fine. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And I'm going to ask you about that same day, March 8, 2014. You did attempt to introduce or obtain contraband in the Harlan County Detention Center.
Yes, sir, you're right.
All right. 4. Attempt to promote contraband, Class D felony, it carries 1 Class A misdemeanor, it carries 12 months in jail and or $500 fine. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And I'm going to ask you about March 8, 2014. You again possessed dangerous contraband while in the Harlan County Detention Center.
Guilty.
Did
Yes,
you
sir.
do it? Did pepper spray? Did you have it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Count 5. This will be attempted assault, 3rd degree.
That's correct.
Is that what we are?
I think there's 3 promoting contraband.
We're in another contraband. Okay. Count 5, attempted contraband, down, amended down to a Class A misdemeanor, because 12 months in jail and or $500 fine. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And I'm going to ask you about March 8, 2014. You did, in fact, commit that offense by having a handcuff taken from one Josh Lilly.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Took
Now,
the guard's
count
handcuff.
6.
You got all kinds of charges.
Degree. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And I'm going to ask you about that same day, March 8, 2014. You committed that offense with regard to Deputy Mitchell Wade with
Yes,
the
sir.
shank. All right. Count 7, attempted assault, 3rd degree, or attempted
Hey,
assault.
Casey,
3rd
girl.
degree. Is that where we are? All right. It's hard to read the writing. Now, misdemeanor, Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead?
Guilty.
All right. I'm going to ask you about that same day, March 8, 2014. You did commit that offense by making stabbing actions towards Deputy Josh Lillard.
Yes, sir.
Stabbing actions towards Deputy
count
Josh Lilly.
8,
What? Not for
Attempted
innocent
assault.
Shelby.
Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I'm going to ask you about March 8, 2014. You committed that offense by spitting on Deputy Wade, Mitchell Wade. Did you?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Spit on him.
Count
Boy, you a
9.
real man, Shelby.
Attempted tampering with physical evidence. Class A misdemeanor. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I'm gonna ask you one about March 8th, 2014. You did commit that offense by putting a shank down the floor drain at the Harlan County Detention Center.
Yes, sir.
Put
All
a
right.
shank down the floor
Now,
drain.
10,
Tried to hide it.
Attempted tampering with physical evidence. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
I'm going to ask you one about that same date. You committed that offense by hiding a key at the Harlan County Detention Center.
Yes,
Hiding
sir.
the key.
Count 11.
Count 11.
Attempted menacing, or just menacing, I'm sorry. A Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
You got
I'm
off
gonna ask you
easy.
one about March 8th, 2014. You committed that offense by placing one Mitchell Wade in apprehension of imminent physical injury.
Guilty.
Did you do it?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay, and count 12, menacing, menacing, whether a Class B misdemeanor. How do you plead?
Guilty.
And I'm going to ask you one about March 8th, 2014. You placed another person, one Josh Lilly, in imminent fear of physical injury,
Yes, sir.
or imminent apprehension of physical injury. All right. The PFO is dismissed by agreement. Right. So that's it. We'll move on now to.
Your Honor, could we take a short break? I've been really busy this morning. I need to use the restroom. Mr. Reed has also had difficulty with the internet in this room, and he's come to our office to check one thing. I apologize, but I've been running around and
Okay. Let's
I need a restroom break.
okay, take a short break. Go off the record for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. Best money I ever spent was going down here getting these videos. Best money ever. All right. Before I play the guilty plea and the murder, I want to play y'all something that shows what a piece of turd muncher he is. He tells him he got saved in jail and gave his life to the Lord. And now he's asking for forgiveness.
From jail and stuff, you hear me?
You hear me? You hear me?
I really am from jail and stuff, you hear me? I really am. Hope you forgive me. I'm sorry for the words I said to you in the past too, you hear me? I really am.
Now, why is he asking forgiveness for something he didn't do? Like, I understand pleading guilty and getting a smaller sentence, right? But why do you say I'm sorry and ask for forgiveness? Yeah, because you're guilty of sin, son, and you know it.
And we're resuming the
Main event.
the plea that we took a break a moment ago from. So we're moving now to 13 CR 00076.
Let's listen closely and see if he mentions anybody else. Or a
with regard
joke.
to count 1 of the indictment in that case of murder, which rather it's been amended to complicity to murder, which is Class A felony. How do you plead?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right. I said a Class A felony. I think it's still a capital offense.
Absolutely, yeah, but
It's still a capital offense. It says Class A on here, but it's still capital.
Yeah, I was incorrect on that. You're
And,
right.
and at this point, it's a distinction without a difference as far as the plea is concerned.
Yes, Your Honor.
It's all right, Blue Moon, misunderstanding. We're all good.
I'm going to ask you, Mr. Chalfont, about February 17, 2013. You committed that offense by causing the death of one Ronnie King.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right.
What'd he say?
Count.
What'd he say right there? Hold on, let me back it up a little bit. Let me back that up.
And I'm going to ask you, Mr. Sheriff, on or about February 17, 2013, you committed that offense by causing the death of one Ronnie King.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right.
I'm going to ask you if on or about February 17th, you committed that offense by causing the death of one Ronnie King. Yes, sir. How about that, Shelby? How you go? No, Janie, I haven't seen his picture, and I don't care what his picture is, really. Sorry, that's an old message. I'm just seeing that. My bad. But yeah, I don't really care what his picture is. Somebody should get that little 14-year-old boy.
Count two.
Count two.
Physical evidence.
Tampering with physical evidence.
Here, Your Honor.
I'm going to ask you if on or about February 17, 2013, you committed that offense by mutilating or altering or removing physical evidence from the scene of the crime that involved the death of Ronnie King.
Yes.
All right.
Whoa, he said it again.
Count three. Robbery, how do you plead?
Here.
I'm going to ask you
That's
if on
twice.
about February 17, 2013, you did in fact commit that offense by committing a theft, using threats or immediate use of physical force upon another, one Ronnie King, to accomplish theft while armed with a deadly weapon.
Yes.
Did you do it?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yes.
Count
Yep.
four.
I did it. Didn't you, Shelby?
Kidnapping. Also a capital offense. How do you plead?
Here.
I want to ask you if on or about February 17, 2013, you committed that offense by unlawfully restraining Ronnie King.
Here.
Guilty of unlawfully restraining Ronnie King.
Count five. Burglary in first degree, Class B felony. How do you plead?
Here.
I want to ask you if on or about February
Burglary,
17,
first degree.
2013, you committed the offense of burglary by knowingly entering and remaining unlawfully in the residence of Ronnie King while armed with a deadly weapon.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. With a deadly weapon. What weapon was it, Shelby?
Arson in the second degree.
Arson.
Felony. How do you plead?
Here.
Guilty.
I'm going to ask you if on about February 17, 2013, you committed that offense by starting a fire with the intent to destroy or damage the building of another, specifically that of Ronnie King.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Count seven.
Yes, sir.
Having possession of a handgun, having been a convicted felon, how do you plead?
Here.
And I'm going to ask you.
Possession of a handgun. Guilty.
On February 17, 2013, after having been convicted of a felony.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Count three, being a persistent felony offender in the second degree, how do you plead?
Here.
Guilty.
I'm going to ask you if before the charges were brought in this case. But that's dismissed. I'm sorry.
He did get off easy.
Sheriff, bring that back.
Terribly easy.
Very good.
Way too easy, scumbag.
Found for foundation of the police. I'm accepting them. And it's my understanding of what we've already talked about this, that sentencing will proceed today. Is that correct? Sure. All right.
JD, he took that to keep from getting live. He knew he was going to get it.
And a delayed PSI. All right.
Total sentence of 20 years.
We'll start with 14 CR 00137. And
look at the look on his face. He cares not. Now he's laughing.
12 months on all, 1 through 10, and then counts 11, 12, or 90 days.
12 months on counts 1 through 10.
in that case, on counts 1 through 10,
What a joke.
you're sentenced to.
Now that's a
12
joke.
months, in the county jail.
Yes, sir.
To Arkansas.
Yes.
Is that correct? And counts 11 and 12,
You're welcome, Nick.
90 days in the county jail. Are all these counts running concurrent?
Yes.
Agree, Sandy says.
Court walks away, that's the sentence. And 14 CR 00134. Now moving to 15 CR 00076.
Agreed, April.
Under count one, Cheryl, you're sentenced to 20 years. You shall have credit for all jail time served since 2013 in this case, other than that specifically served for the
It's going to be consecutive.
well, 13 CR 00516.
It's going to be consecutive in that, yeah.
And no,
It's going to be consecutive.
yeah, I know, and it runs consecutive with time served in 13 CR 00516. Okay.
Hello.
Backwards because he's already sentenced on the case that happened afterwards, but the idea is that he gets all the credit for the time that he's been in jail.
Count 2, 5 years in prison.
Come on, get him credit for the
Count
credit he got in
three.
jail. Gee, what a
20
joke.
years.
Yes.
Count
I had to add in the robbery charge, Your Honor. So,
Count 4, 20 years. Count 5, 10 years. Count 6, 10 years. Count 7, 10 years. Count 8 is dismissed by agreement.
and all those are concurrently.
And all the sentences in this case will run concurrently with that sentence just pronounced in 13 CR 00076.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Ronnie King was failed by the justice system.
That's statute.
This
Too
is
many
sad.
numbers. Or, no, I'm sorry. They run
Disgusting.
they run concurrently with one another, but consecutively with his sentence in 13 CR 00076. Is that correct?
Yes.
But you got it backward. This is 76.
This is
Consecutive
76.
to 516, which he's already serving. And concurrent by law with the misdemeanor
The
time.
sentence in this case is to run consecutively with that in 13 CR 00516. Okay. It's a little hard to read, but I think we're good. And he gets credit for all time, jail time in this case, except with that served specifically in jail in 13 CR 516.
Right, he doesn't get double credit.
No double credit. We got it. That's the sentence. What do I?
It'll be 20 on 13 CR 76, consecutive with.
How would you get that, Nick?
516.
How would you possibly get is Shelby innocent then?
So that's the sentence of court costs are waived in that. And we'll notify probation and parole to get on.
He's absolutely guilty of
on
sin.
this. And Mr. Shell, good luck.
Thank you.
Derek, we can bring the jury back in so I can dismiss them. What's this out?
Look at him laughing, hugging people. Look at that sorry bastard. Laughing and hugging. Oh, I got 20 years for killing a man. Should have got death row. Anybody ever deserved a needle, it was Shelby Shell.
Stands it and free up his court. Sure.
Yeah. So there you have it. I'm going to stop the share screen now. So you see my ugly mug. So what do you think? Let's discuss. Disgusting, right? Absolutely, the justice system failed Ronnie King and his family. They absolutely did. I mean, he's in prison till 2039, and he's probably going to get more time because he can't behave. But if I were the King family, I would have fought it. Yeah. I've seen people get more time on a drug charge too. It's insane. Insane. Now, let me address you, Mr. Kemper, and not today. Why did he not say it was a joke? It was a prank. He didn't say that, did he? Did you all hear him say that? I'm looking at the chat over here. Did you guys hear him say anything about a joke or a prank? The psych expert will be tonight, probably. We're getting ready to get into the defense, and that's a defense witness, a paid defense witness, by the way. You know, one of those witnesses that you give them $5,000 and they say, "Well, Shelby was crazy. Shelby didn't know what he was doing." Yeah, one of those witnesses. The older lady, she's more of a educational witness. The man is a psych witness, I think. But we'll hear probably both. I don't know if we'll hear them both the same night because they're both extremely long. And they really don't say much about anything. Yeah, Candace, it blew my mind too. And what really blows my mind about it is there's certain people who are trying to get this man out of prison, saying he's not guilty. He's a cold-blooded murderer. And there's a Candace, if you go back and listen to my live from last night, he confesses. He doesn't realize he's being recorded, and he confesses. That's right, 616 Love. He also didn't once state anybody helped him. He pled guilty all by himself. Right then and there was the time. Right then and there was the time. Yes, I have seen the psych. I haven't watched it like from beginning to end because it was so boring, but I got the gist of it. What she was saying, how you graduated in 4 years and 1 year, and he's not really that intelligent, so they kind of just gave him a diploma, stuff like that. Yeah, cold-blooded, absolutely. That is not how you saw it. He did not support the defense. Well, we'll watch it tonight. He was absolutely a paid witness by the defense. The prosecution actually asks him, "Are you a paid witness?" And he says, "Yes." That's how I know it. But yeah, that's all he said, Lane. "Guilty, Your Honor," or "Yes, sir." "Yes, sir. I murdered that man." That's what he said. That's what he said. And then he laughed about it and hugged his lawyer. "Thank you, lawyer. I held guards hostage with weapons I could have killed them with. I had 12 counts in jail, felony counts. And then I murdered a man. And then I violated him. And then I set his house on fire all by myself. I told you I did. And you got me 20 years. Thank you, lawyer. Give me a big hug. And let's laugh about it." That lawyer is disgusting. He's a piece of crap. I don't care who he is. He's garbage. He's a garbage. Just garbage. All of them are garbage. I can't see how you can watch that with that confession and hearing him then and say it was a prank. It was a joke. Nope. 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 He had just been released from jail, Glenda. He got out in November in 2012 and committed that murder midway through 2000 in February of 2013. So he was out for 2.5 months, and then killed a man. It is untelling what kind of crimes he committed in those months. Like, he was caught. Do I have somebody knocking at my door? Come in. What is it, sir?
I sent you a text.
Huh?
I sent you a text.
You sent me a text. I didn't get it.
I need the pin for it.
Oh, what is that? What is that for?
It's for my PC.
What's your pin? Try 6174.
Okay.
Try that. Yeah. All right. My son had with all due respect, it's not the job of the defense it is the job of the defense to defend their client. I could never defend a murderer. And I understand that. I understand it's the job of the attorney, and they did a hell of a job. But to laugh and hug him, now I take offense to that. Why was that necessary? Why are you going to laugh and hug somebody snuffed out a man in a disgusting, vile manner? Why would you hug him and laugh knowing he's going to be out in 20 years? I don't get that, dude. Not my monkey. I just don't get that. Now I know it was their job. And I've said many times, the defense kicked the prosecution's rear end in that trial. If there was a winner or a loser, I'm giving the winner to the defense. They won. They did a better job. Absolutely. Hands down. Is it true you're hooking up with Ernest? Negative. No, sir. No, ma'am. Not at all. Who told you that? Jamie? I'll tell you what, Jamie lives just a few miles from where Ernest is at. Why don't he go get him? Why don't he go whip him? He talks big and bad. Ernie was 12 miles from my house. I went to McDonald's and found him. But yeah, there's no hooking up going on. Like, me and Ernie's not friends. So it is wild, Mr. Gumby. It is wild. All these people that think Shelby's not guilty. And that's public record. I went down there today. Bought it. Went down there today and bought it. We're going to finish the trial and see what we think. Why did he not burn the whole house down? Looks like 4 places burned. He set 4 fires. So he was trying to burn the whole house down. The arson investigator said the house was so new, a newer built house, that there was no oxygen inside there for it to burn. So he thought he was burning it down. And he ran. He set the fires and ran. He thought it was going to burn down. So he gave it a shot. He's obviously not a professional arsonist. He's a, career criminal, mostly a thief and a thug. And he tried to burn down that house for evidence, burn out the evidence. The house looked maybe brick on the outside. I'd have to look at it, honestly. But the arson investigator, Sandy said there was not enough oxygen inside the house for the fire to burn. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what he said. that there wasn't enough oxygen because it was a newer model house, I guess, or something, and there wasn't any um, enough oxygen inside the home to make it burn. Thank you, April. Thank you. But I am so glad I drove to Harlan today. I didn't get to spend any time or see any of my friends while I was there. I did see a deputy there that I know pretty well, and he asked me how I was doing, and I told him bye. You see that on the video I posted. I'm well known in Harlan. You know, I'm not loved by everybody, but I'm from there. I played ball a little bit there. I went back home and wrestled. Professionally. And yeah, it's fake, but it was entertaining for the people there. Um, and then I brought MMA to Harlan. Um, we had some really, really big events there in Harlan. We've had some guys from there end up in the UFC and on other shows. Brandon Bell, actually from Everett's, made it to he fought on a big show, a Bellator show, just last month or month before last, I think. It's Ronnie King, Glenda, and he was burned. Yes, he was. He was scorched and singed. They actually tried to set fire to him. It was, and those crime scene photos are disgusting, to say the least. And I've been emailing with a couple people, and I'm going to address that here just a minute. Like, one person asked me, why am I taking up for Ernie? I'm not taking up for Ernie. I said we're going to wait until I see this car evidence before I say whether I think Ernie was there or not. I think Shelby would have said something by now to somebody. Like, he's been talking in jail too. There's, they were going to call witnesses from jail, but they didn't need to. They thought they didn't. I guess the credibility of a prisoner would have been, about like Ernie's. But I'm not defending Ernie. Just because I'm not accusing him of murder, don't mean I'm taking up with him or defending him. I'm not, don't take it that way. Don't take it that way. I've told Ernie and I told you guys that, there won't be a friendship there anymore because I can't trust him. That's just the way it is. Yeah, with Shelby, the murder took place in 2013. If somebody was asking that, I don't know. Was airtight, Janie. Yeah, there was.
What do you think about this one?
Ooh, I like that. You see my wife's Pioneer Woman dress? Step over here, lady friend. Look here. Mama sees Pioneer Woman dress.
Do you want to see the other one?
Yeah, we'll put it on. Bring it in here.
And you tell me which one looks the best.
No, I like that. I like the way it feels too. It's soft. I don't see Trina. Is Trina in here? Oh, you were absolutely sure Ernie was involved a few weeks ago, and I can show you several times where you said it. Yeah, I sure did. I sure did. I jumped the gun. I sure did, Trina. You're right. Let me highlight your comment. I absolutely did. Absolutely, I did. I jumped the gun. Absolutely, 100%. I said, I saw that defense closing arguments, and I didn't want. Hopefully, we'll get to see the video tonight, maybe. But I want to see that car. I want to see that car. I want to see if we can tell that's a Dodge Caliber, a black Dodge Caliber 2012 driving by. And we're all going to watch it together. Hopefully you'll see it too. If you don't want to watch it live, get somebody to screenshot it for you. It doesn't hurt my feelings. I know you've left and you think, I know you're not being disrespectful. Don't, you're not being timed out. Your question was valid, and I think I answered it. I'm human. I jump to conclusions. Thank you all. I'll tell her you guys said that. Um, I jump to conclusions just like anybody else. I'm not perfect. Not at all. In downtown Trina, I even asked you for your forgiveness. I never got a return email telling me to screw off or to, you take my forgiveness. Come on here. Woo! I like this one better.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you would.
The dark color. I like black and blue. The green's all right too, though.
I jumped to the same conclusion about that.
I know.
When I
know.
seen that call.
We all did.
So we're all guilty. I mean, I'm guilty of it too. So.
Leslie B. Shelby Lee would have most definitely told Jimbo if Ernie would have helped him. The ones. Let me highlight this. The ones who don't know Jimbo, Ernie, or Shelby Lee would not understand that. I mean, Shelby was being pretty open with me, right? Like he wasn't hiding anything. He told me what he did, how he did it. He didn't say anything about anybody else. Now I don't know if Ernie was there or not. I'm still not saying yes he was or no he wasn't. I'm going to wait and see what the car evidence is. Now I do know that I have the transcript from Lucinda and Shelby, and Lucinda's, I don't know if she still is. Lucinda was in love with Shelby, or she thought she was. After, Shelby was arrested, things, progressed. She started calling Shelby. Shelby started calling her. So, to me, her testimony is tainted as well. Do I have his actual charges posted in a video? No, I don't. Actually, they were read off by the judge. And just now, the judge read them off. There was 12 charges before they got to the murder stuff. And then there was, complicity, which he made him admit murder. But there was complicity, tampering with evidence, robbery, burglary, arson, and he pled guilty to all that. He pled guilty to every bit of it. I cannot believe he just got 20 years. I mean, he really got a hell of a deal, right? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Shelby got a hell of a deal. I'll look it up, Sandy. I don't know. It was a live stream from 2 nights ago. I didn't know he was going to call, so I don't think I named it that. I had sent him a message and asked him to call. Let me go to live. Maybe playlist. No, live, home, videos. Let's see. I don't know. But it was live from 2 nights ago, I think. Maybe this one. Maybe Here We Go Again, Weekend to No End, something like that. That might be it. Let's see. And I'm sorry I'm missing chat. I'm looking at this. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this is it. Sandy, the name of it is Here We Go Again, Weekend to No End. I have some info to share. Let me put that in. Let's see. Here we go again. This is how it starts. So you guys can check that one out. It's got Kevin Dixon actually called me. I asked him to call me. I sent him a Facebook message and asked him to call me. And he shed some light on it too. He got some time served since 2013, so 6 years.
Can you send that to me?
Do what?
Can you send that to Jackie?
How much? Did he? Levi?
I told her to send in her 100.
I don't have that.
Okay,
There's not that much in there.
okay, whatever.
Hang on just a second, guys.
It don't matter.
All right. You guys don't report me for sexual content because I gave my wife a little smooch. Oh, goodness. Let's see. Mama Steph, you fell asleep? Kevin didn't record him, but Kevin's prints were found on the safe. Where did you see that at, Just Me? Where did you hear that at? According to the state police, there were no fingerprints found. I don't know. And see, that's what happens. Like, and I'm not accusing you. I'm sure you heard it somewhere. No, there weren't. There weren't any fingerprints found. The place was wiped clean. So that's false. Mike Cornett, the lead detective, said there were no fingerprints found. Like, he testified to that on the witness stand. No fingerprints. So that stuff about Kevin Dixon, all that was false. Go back and look at what? Like, we've played the whole thing. We've played Mike Cornett's testimony. There were no fingerprints. There were no fingerprints. But, where did you hear that at? Maybe you can go and find and give me a timestamp and we'll look it up. And if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong. I always do. I always do. Oh my gosh, this was a sweeps. Yeah, I mean, this is a blockbuster, right? It was a blockbuster. Shelby keeps telling Not Today and Mr. Kemper that it was a setup. It was a setup. They got me going on with this joke, this joke. It was a prank. It's a prank. Read the police report, Danielle. There were no fingerprints belonging to anybody. Did you just watch Shelby plead guilty, Danny, or are you coming in late? He said he murdered Ronnie King. He's guilty of murdering Ronnie King. He's guilty of setting the fires at Ronnie King's house. He's guilty of robbing Ronnie King. He's guilty of burglarizing Ronnie King. He admitted it to the judge. Yeah, show me a timestamp if you find it. I mean, I believe you. Why did they have Kevin in custody? Because they thought he was the guy. When Ronnie King's sister, the last person to talk to him while he was alive, said he got off the phone because he said Kevin's here or Dixon's here. Of course. So they went and they detained him. He wasn't arrested. He never was arrested, but he was detained. He told us that the other day when he called in. See, this is what I've told you guys. No, it wasn't fingerprints. There were no fingerprints. Oh, they have offered Kevin Dixon a settlement to buy him off. Oh, welcome in, trolls. Goodness gracious. You guys still want this murderer out? It's sickening. And then he tells the family at the end, I've given myself to the Lord. Please forgive me for killing your brother. I'm even sorry for yelling at you. And then he laughs and hugs his lawyer. Thank you, lawyer. You did me good. He does have a lawsuit, Steffi. They don't have fingerprints. Oh, gosh. That's so funny. Yeah. Point it out. We'll go look it up. We'll find it. Didn't say he did it alone, but there were others that helped. Really? That's not what he said. Did you guys get that? I'm going to pin this. I'm going to put this up on the screen. Did anybody else divulge that information from what Shelby did today or on March 10th, 2020 in the courtroom? Did Shelby say anything else other than he was guilty? He didn't say President Trump was with him either. Does that mean President Trump was with him? You people make me sick. Like it's disgusting the way you're trying to take up for a cold-blooded killer. And you're trying to make it look like somebody else did it. Somebody else was involved. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how you try to ruin somebody else's life. And there won't ever be another trial. Bank on that. Bank on it. There won't be another trial. He waived his rights. He signed away his rights. He gone. Promise you that. Not going to be another trial. So not today. And listen, all these packages, she says, cost $40 and $50. You know you can go to the post office and ship a package in a box, in those pre-weighted box, right? Like as much as you can stuff in it for one set price. You know. It's just the thought process of, oh, well, let me think of a reason why he could still be innocent is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm going to post this after I had the watermarks and everything. I'm going to post it all. You never said he should be set free. What's missing out of the story, just me? I have played every single friggin' second of the trial, even the boring ass bench conferences and the jury selection. What? You tell me what's not being played. Please tell me. Find something I haven't played and we'll go play it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am far from a perfect human being. I have sinned. We've all sinned, come short of the glory of God. You know, there has been things in my past I'm not proud of. There's things I wrote in my book I'm not proud of. But you ask me and I'll tell you the truth about it. What else you want from me? I mean, you may not like it. You sit there and call me a liar all day, won't you? But, all I can do is tell you the truth. I don't get it. Hakuna Matata, the book, is about, it's basically, it's set over a course of about 6 years of my life when we were running MMA events. It's kind of an autobiography about me and the MMA events and the people I met and the people I knew and things that took place during that time. First chapter is about Ernie and what a pitiful promoter he was. Yeah, thank you, Axe. And Axe, you send me emails, and you have no idea how much those things you send me uplift me and help me throughout every day. I know I don't respond to all of them, but I promise you, I read them all and I go to those links, and they are very helpful for me. Please keep sending those. And then God bless you for that. Chaotic Beauty and Crime. Did you see the guilty pleas? I wonder if the people who are in here like still taking up for Shelby even saw what he said. He was asked, right? You're right, E squared. You're right. Maybe we can get a transcript and read it. He was asked point blank, did you cause the death of Ronnie King? Yes, Your Honor. In the fires. Did you set this fire to destroy evidence in the murder of Ronnie King? Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor. Did you enter his domain with the intent to rob him and hold him up with a weapon or however it was worded? Yes, Your Honor. Okay. I didn't call you a liar. I just believe everyone needs to start at the beginning from the night of the murder. Everyone use your own brains and decide. The jury couldn't even get guilty counts on Shelby Shell. Actually, the guilty got six guilty counts on Shelby Shell, which is, it's pretty damning. I mean, it's the prosecution's burden of proof. So for 6 people to be willing to put a man in jail for the rest of his life says a lot. Yeah, were you not here? Tell me, just answer this question for me. Did you hear the plea? I'll play it for you again right now if you want to. Thank you, Joan Spring. I appreciate that. Is it Joan or Joanne? Put a 1 for Joan and a 2 for Joanne. So I don't want to mess that up. I hate it when people mispronounce my name. Oh, Jumbo. But if you didn't play, like if you didn't hear him admit to murder, he didn't say anything about complicity to murder. The judge asked him, did you take the life of Ronnie King? What did he say, chat? What did Shelby say when the judge asked him if he took the life of Ronnie King? Yes, Your Honor. Joni. Oh, okay. Joni. Oh, nice. One of my, and this to tell you how old I am, I used to love Happy Days with Joni and Chachi. And one of my favorite Conway Twitty songs is about Joni. Yeah, that's a pretty name. Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor. You missed it, Don? Yeah, we'll play that part again. Like no problem. I'll just play the audio that way I don't have to share the screen, but and it's more difficult that way. But yeah, let's see. Shelby Shell. Okay.
And we're resuming the plea that we took a break a moment ago from. So we're moving now to 13 CR 0076.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I loved it. I loved it. I always wanted to be
with regard to count 1 of
Henry Winkler,
that case, murder, which it's been amended to complicity to murder.
All right, you just said it's been amended to complicity.
Class A felony. How do you plead?
But listen,
All right. I said a Class A felony. I think it's still a capital offense. It's still a capital offense. It says
I'm
it
going to
says
pause it
Class
for
A
just a
on there,
minute,
but it's
John,
still-
or just me. I didn't go against everyone that was my friend. You're wrong. You are very wrong. Very, very wrong. Nope. I'm not the one who turned. Absolutely not. You don't put that on me. That wasn't me. Not at all. So carry on. I'm going to play this for the people who haven't heard it. Some people don't want to hear it.
capital.
Yeah, I was incorrect on that. You're right.
And at this point, it's a distinction without a difference as far as the plea is concerned, I believe. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Sheriff, on or about February 17, 2013, you committed that offense by causing the death of one Ronnie King.
Yes, sir, y'all.
Whoa! What'd he say? Let me back that up just a little bit. On or about February 17th, you committed that offense, causing the death of Ronnie King. Not you were there, you saw it, you helped, you had help. You committed that offense. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was incorrect on that. You're right.
And at this point, it's a distinction without a difference as far as the plea is concerned, I believe. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Sheriff, on or about February 17, 2013, you committed that offense by causing the death of one Ronnie King.
Yes, sir, y'all.
All right. Count two, tampering with physical evidence. How do you plead?
Yeah, y'all.
I'm going to ask you on or about February 17, 2013, you committed that offense by mutilating or altering or removing physical evidence from the scene of the crime that involved the death of Ronnie King.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Count three, robbery. How do you plead?
Robbery.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you if on or about February 17, 2013, you did in fact commit that offense by committing a theft, using threats or immediate use of physical force upon another, one Ronnie King, to accomplish that, while armed with a deadly weapon.
Armed with a deadly weapon.
Did you do it? All right.
Yep, I did it.
Count
Yep.
four.
All right, guys. So we get the gist of it, right? You get the gist of it, right? So, and there's a bunch of people who just left with him. It means he didn't do it by himself. Oh my God. Yeah. He had his chance to tell anybody, the whole world, it was a prank. It was a joke. But he didn't. Why? Why didn't he? He's guilty. He killed the man. He didn't ask him, hey, Shelby, even though he was pleading guilty to complicity, he didn't ask him, hey, Shelby, were you complicit in this murder? Nope. The judge was clever. He was specific. Did you commit this crime? Did you, Y-O-U, that's not plural, commit this crime resulting in the death of one Ronnie King? Yes, sir, Your Honor. What more do you want? Seriously. What more do you want? Take it, twist it, spin it, take up for not today, because that's what it's all about. Her and Kemper, for whatever reason, decided to do their thing. And their thing was, let's attack Jimbo, make Jimbo look like a horrible person. Well, you did it in the eyes of some people. And to those people who think that, God bless you. I hope you get all you want in life. Truly. You're still welcome to chat here and be respectful, but trust is over. You know, look at Jamie. Vile, discussing, cussing, calling women names. And I was guilty too. Like I was guilty of saying Ernie did that kind of thing, and Ernie did do that kind of thing. Now, even he wasn't as vile with his words, but he was so disrespectful to women. But Jamie's doing the same thing. I challenge you, hold Jamie to the same standard you hold Ernie to. Hold Ernie to the same standard that you hold Jamie to. Nobody should talk to a lady the way they talk to women. Nobody. It's terrible. It's horrible. And it's obvious that there's people who just, decided to jump ship and they're going to stay there. No matter what. I'm the bad guy. And the guy who's calling my wife names, trying to ruin my marriage, which it ain't going to work. It doesn't matter. Yeah, just keep on laughing, just me. Because you've shown your true colors too. You're just like Jamie. You're not cussing, but I mean, you're defending a murderer. You how do you listen to that and say anything other than Shelby Shell killed the man? In none of his stories does he ever say anything plural. Ever. He didn't say anything plural when he talked to Ernie. Didn't say anything plural when he talked to us both. Didn't say anything plural when he talked to me on the phone. So why now? Throw some money on his books. Take good care of him. Call him. All those phone calls aren't recorded. All those JPays aren't being displayed. You know, the ones where he said, love you, Shelby. Or where he says, I love you. Right? What's bad is bad. Like, what I've done today, I finally had enough of it's just complicity. It's just complicity. It's just complicity. All he said was he was there. All he said was he was complicit in the murder. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Listen to that. And if you still think he was just complicit, then God bless you. God bless you. Because I'm tell you right now, someday we're all going to stand in front of God. I believe that. Some people don't, and that's your right. That's your right to believe what you want to believe. A self-proclaimed murderer. This isn't even an innocent until proven guilty. He said he was guilty that he killed Mr. King. Correct. Let's read through some stuff here. I would have imagined that when Shelby was arrested that he would have been singing if someone else was involved. Shelby wouldn't take all the blame if there was another person. I agree. Shelby did say, my brother set me up. My brother set me up. But he also tried to say Ernie gave him that change and that jewelry on Brother's Day. Well, I know for a fact in my heart of hearts, deep down inside me, and I told the state police when I gave my statement, and I said it on the witness stand, before Brother's Day ever took place, Shelby Shell tried to sell me that stuff. So he had possession of it before he says Ernie gave it to him. And he's changed the story over and over and over. He changes to fit whoever he's talking to. Amen. And I'm the only person who has an answer for my sins and transgressions. Yeah, I mean, that's between you and God, right? God, I pray daily. I don't profess to be a Christian right now. I'm working on myself. God's still working on me. Honestly, no, I'm not even going to say it's just tough. It's tough with these accusations of, like, and look who's throwing these accusations. Like, we have a person who claims to be military and wasn't military. Like, that stolen valor thing, and he does it, when Ernie does it, let's throw him in jail for it. Let's hammer him. Let's whip him over it, And I agree. Stolen valor is pathetic. But when somebody else does it, we don't hold them to the same standard. You got answers, don't you, just me? Well, you got answers. How about he could just confess to the judge? Does that matter? He didn't confess to a law enforcement officer. The law enforcement officer stopped investigating the moment they received a recording. How about he just confessed to the judge? Is that enough? Is that high enough up the law enforcement ladder for you? Or was that fake? Was that coerced? You tell me. Honestly, you tell me right now, just me, what's your opinion on what he said when he pled guilty? Explain it to me. I'm waiting. While I'm waiting, I'm going to read this. Not today has probably promised Shelby a lot that we don't hear. And let's face it, Shelby is going to say anything at this point, especially when a woman is talking sweet to him and sending him in JPays. Yeah. And it's funny. Like, it's hilarious that she thinks that she's the only one he's talking to. Oh, can't explain for 300 seconds. Okay. That's okay. Let them sit and stew on it. Whoever it is just being ridiculous anyway. Like, they're just being ridiculous anyway. Thank you, Jimbo, for all that you share and do. I think you're a great and caring person, and you and your family have been through all this and deserve peace and happiness. Thank you. My wife's been through, some BS with Jamie. My kids don't even know. They don't even know what's going on. And they're not going to. They don't, no need in it. Yeah, Kevin says he was held for 9 days, handcuffed to a chair, but he wasn't arrested. Honestly, I would think if you were supposedly supposed to be at the crime scene, um, with a witness saying you were there, and then your fingerprints are on a safe that has been broken into, there would have been an arrest. Put a 1 in the chat if you think there would have been an arrest of Kevin Dixon if his fingerprints were on that safe. Hello, everybody. I see you guys coming in late. Welcome in. Welcome in. Go back and watch the Shelby's confession. Woo, doggy. Confesses to the judge. Yes, Your Honor. I killed Ronnie King. Right, Shelby?
It's still a capital offense. It says Class A on here, but it's still capital.
Yeah, I was incorrect on that. You're right.
And at this point, it's a distinction without a difference as far as the plea is concerned. I'm going to ask you, Mr. Sheriff, on or about February 17, 2013, you committed that offense by causing the death of one Ronnie King.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
All right.
On or about February 17th, 2013, Shelby Shell, did you commit that offense causing the death of Ronnie King? Yes, sir, Your Honor. It don't get much clearer than that. It doesn't get much clearer than that. And if you're still defending that, honestly, shame on you. Why? Are you that disturbed that you think a murderer is innocent? He confessed to Ernie. He confessed to me. He confessed to me again on tape. Then he got a hung jury, so he got about as good as you can get besides a flat out not guilty. So they're going to trial again 1 year later. And instead of going to trial, roll the dice, go to trial where you can get an appeal if you lose. He pleads guilty. And he tells the judge he snuffed out the life of Ronnie King, man. Like, it doesn't get much clearer than that. The judge said on or about February 17th. Shelby agreed, and he said he killed him. He said he committed a crime that resulted in the death of Ronnie King. Nobody put no words in his mouth. That's what he said. That's what he said. So, enough's enough. Enough's enough. Yeah, he pled guilty after. I agree with you, April. Doesn't that speak volumes? After a hung jury, he pled guilty. And it wasn't like he was burning up money and losing money left and right. He had court appointed attorneys. You guys pay taxes in Kentucky? You were paying for his attorney. He gets out in 2039. He has to serve his current charges, the ones he received while in jail there. There was another charge other than the ones he pled guilty to. He has to serve those. He's scheduled out 2039. I hope he never gets out. I hope he rots in prison. That's just the way I feel about it. God forgive me. Oh gosh, Shannon. God bless you, Shannon. I'm so sorry to hear that. But yeah, you know, this guy and and he's playing a game now, like, let's see if this lady here, because she's told him she's a private investigator, which she's not. Um, she's promised him to get his story out on some big YouTube channels where mass amount of people will get in and support him because he's telling the truth. Um, but yeah, he's guilty of sin. You can't keep changing your story, dude. Like, the one thing about the internet is that even when you change your story, it's everywhere. So, starting all the way back from the beginning, on the day you were arrested, you said, I couldn't be two places at one time. I was in Maria at work. But they checked and you weren't. You weren't at work the day before, the day of, or the 2 days following. You weren't at work, Shelby. So then you changed your story. No, 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 no. I wasn't at work. Me and my wife, we went to play bingo in Berea. So they checked the video. You weren't there. Oh, no, no, no. We were going to play bingo, but we got in a fight and we went back home to hang out and go to bed. That's 3 stories, dude. 3 different alibis you gave in one day. All these lies have been caught on tape. And that's not a memory lapse. That's just flat out lies. Shannon, I think it would be, I think it should be time in jail, not death penalty. Death penalty, quick and easy way to put it. Yeah. He wasn't eligible for the death penalty. They determined he had an intellectual disability and could not get the death penalty. So it was taken off the table. Shelby says he beat it. He fought it so hard and beat it. No, you got intellectual disability and you weren't eligible for it. It was a moral lapse, Jen Hoffa. You're right. Yeah, so many different stories. Beautiful Sunflower. The defense put Ernie Shell on trial, and they did a good job of it. We're getting ready to start watching the defense, and I'm telling you, they make Ernie look as guilty as Shelby. They did a hell of a job. They really did. That's why a lot of people came to that conclusion. I had never seen the defense or any of the trial until we got the DVDs, but that's the short answer. The defense put Ernie on trial, and they had some perjury going on, and I still wait. Um, I'm still going to wait and see the car evidence. I want to see that, and I want to watch it objectively with you all. You guys tell me what you think, and we'll go from there. But you don't have to just wait for that. Start, you know, listening and paying attention to what's going on when the defense brings up their case. We'll do that tonight at 9 o'clock or 9:30. I'm sorry, 9:30. Sunflower, we don't know. That's the thing. If he was there, then of course he was guilty of being there. Being complicit. That's what we're trying to figure out. That's what we're trying to figure out. I don't know if the video will come up tonight or not. We're doing it in chronological order, so it's and there's these witnesses, these expert witnesses are going to take up a lot of time. But I want to watch it all. I don't want to be accused of not watching anything or showing something. For goodness sakes. But yeah, we'll do our best to cover everything. And Dodge Caliber station wagon looks like your average car. I'll show you. Like, let me go here and look. Let me grab a Google search image of it right quick. Wonder if I can find a black one. They said it was black. Well, I know it was black, actually. The car was black. Let's see. There you go. Pull up this picture if it'll come up. You can buy one for $9,487. Oh goodness. See if I can make that any bigger. There we go. Let's look at that. All right, let me share the screen here. And yeah, the sun's about to go down here in Kentucky. It's 7:30 p.m. Chrome window. There we go. All right, you guys see that? Now, they don't say anything about this car. They don't say anything about this car in the actual when the video is actually played. I'd love to get that scooter. But what are you talking about, Carrie Worcester? What are we too chicken to explain? But they don't say anything about this vehicle when the video plays, but when the closing arguments come up, they say that car drove by, a car, looking like a Dodge Caliber drove by right after you see the white plume of smoke. And the white plume of smoke was never determined to be coming from Ronnie King's house. Definitively. Just like the gun evidence wasn't definitively. Just me left before they would explain what you wanted them to. Oh, yeah. They got out of here, I guess. Yeah. And I know they got timed out, but they could have stuck around, they're gonna be you gotta misbehave, you gotta get put in time out just like anybody, any childish behavior. All right. But that's the Dodge Caliber, and that's what it looked like. We will look for that. And you guys are gonna be like, you've got a heads up. Like, we know we're looking for it. And when the video is played, I'm going to say, hey, let's look for this car, okay? So I'll give you, we'll have a little bit of an advantage to start looking for it. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I had to put my son in timeout. I think one of the mods actually put him in timeout. He's misbehaving. Gosh almighty. Little teenager. Hey, if I'm wrong or saying something I shouldn't be, put me in timeout. Don't whine about it if you're in the wrong. Right. I mean, and you guys could say anything. You can question me about anything as long as it's respectful. I mean, you don't have to agree with me. Heck, I know I'm wrong a lot. If I was right all the time, I'd have a lot more money, right? I'd be rich. Oh, goodness. But I'm looking forward to tonight. Looking forward to going over this stuff in the trial. And I hope we get to that video. I hope we do. I hope it's before the experts. Oh my gosh. Can you guys put a one in the chat if you can tell I'm dreading sitting through those expert witnesses? I mean, if that guy was my teacher, professor, I would have never made it. I would have never made it. Thank you, certified. Yeah, I would have. That guy. Oh, goodness. We give him a little slack. Now there's certain things they won't be allowed to say, period. But yeah, we'll yeah, Mike Cornett actually, now what he says was once he got the info on Shelby, he didn't investigate anybody else. But we know there was other people investigated. Right after the murder, Kevin Dixon was picked up and detained, taken to the state police post and kept for 9 days. Not in jail. He wasn't arrested, but they handcuffed him to a chair and kept him out at the state police post. So, yeah, there was other people investigated. But once they got the murder confession from Shelby, because they didn't have any real evidence other than the I don't know how to say it, bullet fragment or whatever, whatever's left, that they recovered. They knew it was either I want to say, I'm not expert on guns, but does it make sense that it was either a 357 or a 38 special? They knew that, and once it was said that Shelby had a 38, could possibly have my 38. And then you hear him confess, in his confession, he said zip ties, which wasn't released, and he said pillow, which wasn't released. So they pretty much knew they had their guy. So yeah, they stopped investigating anybody else. Was it piss poor handling of the case? Absolutely. Absolutely. If they would have investigated more, then at least they could have said, well, we investigated more. But they didn't. So it was terrible. It was terrible. It was, to this day, I still don't think Ronnie King's family got justice. Now, the murderer is in prison for taking his life. So there's that. Hey, Steve, how are you, buddy? So there is that part. I'm trying to read some of the chat here. But he only got 20 years. He only got 20 years. Like, if Shelby makes it and serves out of prison, how do you think it's going to play out with King's nephews? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you. I know the area of Everett. I know the area of Harlan County. I know the attitudes of folks. And it's not just everybody feels that way, but to rule out vigilante justice would be foolish. Would be foolish. Shelby serves out of prison. I would say Everett's would be a place he needs to steer clear of. Yeah, I hope it does go by very slowly. I've been 20 years. Happy Days is on. Sorry, I heard you saying. I do like that show, and one of the ladies in chat, her name is Joni. So, and one of my favorite all time songs from Conway Twitty is "Please Don't Cry, Joni." I think that's the name of it, but that's you know, or Joni, Joni, don't cry, something like that. But it's an awesome song. It's one of my favorites ever. All right, guys. So it's about 7:41. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Take this information, play it, listen to it. I'm going to upload it, the actual video. Don't Cry, Joni. Yeah, I love that. Love that song. But I'm going to upload the video. I'm sure it'll be somebody else's content within the next 20 minutes. And they can pick it apart all they want, but you heard what I heard. Man's guilty. He told the judge he murdered Ronnie King. And he didn't mention another single soul for any of his charges. So there's that. So those ones who say Shelby's always owned up to his charges, why wouldn't he own up to these? Well, he did. He's just smooth talking you YouTubers and not today because you guys are feeding him, right? Send him some more money. Tell him Jimbo said hi. All right. See you guys at 9:30. I appreciate everything. Love you guys. Man, you guys have been so good to me and my family. See you guys at 9:30. I'm hoping to get some supper in me before then myself. But until then, I'm Jimbo coming to you live from the stand.